Beyond the Gates spoilers tease that the tension in the McBride household is about to explode. Part 1 unfolds under the flickering neon lights of the backdoor casino, where Doug McBride's luck has run as dry as the desert beyond the gates. On Tuesday, May 20th, Doug sinks deeper into a quagmire of deceit. He insists he'll honor his debts, but his actions speak otherwise. Clutching the stained envelope of IOUs, Doug's palms sweat as he slides across the felt table, eyes darting toward the gaunt form of Joey Armstrong, casino owner, debt collector, and nightmare personified. The moment Doug mutters that he needs more time, Joey's expression curdles. He lunges forward, iron fist cocked in warning. The blow lands, it's more sting than pain, a calculated message: pay up or pay dearly. Doug staggers back, blood blossoming at the temple. Heat and humiliation flare in his chest. He tastes copper on his tongue, fear mixed with fury. But this is only a prelude. Joey Armstrong doesn't deal in small indignities. He thrives on leverage. Across the table, Vanessa McBride, Doug's wife, stands poised in high heels and a tailored blazer, unaware that her husband's duplicity will soon place her squarely in Armstrong's crosshairs. As Doug slinks into the back corridors, nursing both bruise and pride, Joey approaches Vanessa, a polite smile masking predatory intent. Vanessa's real estate firm, McBride Holdings, owns half the vacant lots ripe for development near the casino. Armstrong's eyes gleam with profit. "We could arrange a clean slate," he offers in a hushed rumble, his voice a snake's hiss. "Your company transfers certain assets, and Doug's obligations vanish." Vanessa recoils, mortified. She's built her reputation, her life, on integrity. Yet when Doug finally admits to the scheme, pleading for her rescue, she sees only two paths: sacrifice her empire to save her husband, or watch him burn. The emotional tug-of-war twists her guts into knots. That night, she lies awake, haunted by Joey's whispered promises and threats. In her dreams, neon signs morph into shackles around her ankles. Speculators and swindlers clamor for her downfall. Doug's lies have become her prison. Meanwhile, back at the McBride residence, Doug's doubling down. He calls in favors from old friends, ones he once wronged. He even contemplates the unthinkable, staging a sensational exposé, handing Joey incriminating proof of casino malfeasance, trading justice for debt forgiveness. But Vanessa, ever the moral compass, steers him away. She reminds him of their daughter's future, of the community they promised to uplift. Doug nods, tears welling, the weight of his betrayal settling deep in his chest. In the haze of gamblers' desperation and marital anguish, Joey Armstrong's shadow looms large. His veneer of civility slips when he learns Vanessa won't cooperate. Armstrong unleashes his enforcers, tightening the noose. Doug McBride's world teeters on collapse, and the only question remains: will he sacrifice everything to save his wife's legacy, or will Vanessa sacrifice her soul to save him? Leslie Thomas seethes with rage. Ever since her daughter Eva Thomas arrived home from college, the household has trembled under a suffocating pall of secrets. Leslie's voice shakes as she paces the polished floors of their suburban mansion, replaying the audio tape Catherine Richardson recorded, an ambush that landed on Jacob Hawthorne's phone, then into police hands. In that muffled confession, Kat hints that Leslie and Eva orchestrated Laura Peterson's accident, a crime of passion born from decades-old grudges and simmering jealousy. Though Catherine's words falter. Her guilt-induced tremor corrupting the clarity of the evidence, detectives sniff opportunity. Eva, Lydia to her friends, must answer for her mother's sins if Leslie doesn't intervene. Leslie slams a hand against the mahogany banister. She knows the tape is ambiguous. Kat's fear has warped the narrative. The cops might only pursue Eva, but Leslie's maternal instincts flare. If it's one or the other, she'll bear the blame herself. She debates confessing, spinning a tale of sole culpability. "I carried the weight. She was blind to the truth." Yet the piteous look on Eva's face when Leslie revealed the existence of the tape last night still burns in her mind. Betrayal tastes bitter on the tongue. Eva, for her part, is already plotting her defense. She storms into the drawing room, voice taut, "You're going to throw me under the bus, aren't you? All to protect yourself." Her eyes, rimmed with anger and hurt, pin Leslie's down. The argument spirals, accusations ricocheting like bullets. Leslie's tears fall freely as she insists, "I would never let you take the fall." Eva laughs bitter, resigned. "Then why did you lie about the tape's provenance? Why did you let Jacob Hawthorne ruin my life?" The clash of wills shatters the fragile bonds of trust. In that charged silence, Eva clenches her fists, promising, if she goes to jail, Leslie will face her wrath and the truth, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, beneath the gilded chandeliers of a charity gala, Andre Richardson and Danny Dupree appeared the perfect couple. Their hands slid across the marble table, their hearts beating to the rhythm of a classical quartet. The world saw them as partners, charitable, influential, inseparable. But behind the facade, Danny's eyes flashed with concern. She gripped Andre's hand tighter, whispering, "Not now, please. We can't risk it now." The gala's theme, "Beyond the Gates of Change," seemed cruelly ironic. Danny's past, still shrouded in scandal, whispered threats to her carefully crafted image. Andre's smile faltered. His protective instincts clashed with his desire to shout their love from the rooftops. Moments earlier, in a hushed corner, Andre had declared, "I'm proud of us. I want the world to know." But Danny's warning breath chilled his triumph. "She fears exposure. Whispers could unravel every philanthropic endeavor, every social alliance they've forged. More than that, she suspects someone is waiting in the wings, a saboteur eager to exploit their vulnerability." Her wariness, inscrutable to onlookers, seeds doubt in Andre's mind. Then word arrives, Ashley Morgan and Derek Baldwin have called it quits. The news, whispered by a flitting aide, hangs between them. Andre's heart skips. Memories of late-night calls and laughter with Ashley flicker in his mind, how her humor thawed his guarded heart, how their plans for the future once glittered with promise. He glances at Danny, whose face is deathly pale. "I'm sorry," he whispers, guilt lacing his words. "I didn't mean to hurt you." But the admission betrays more. Ashley was never just a friend. Danny's shoulders slump, a storm of betrayal raging behind her calm facade. She realizes, with a pang of icy dread, that she was Andre's consolation prize. The gala's crystal glasses blur as tears gather. She masks her devastation with a tight smile, leaning into Andre's shoulder as the orchestra swells. Yet in her mind, a vow takes root, revenge. She will expose the truth of Andre's affections, unravel his alliances, and reclaim the narrative of her own life. Meanwhile, news of the breakup spreads like wildfire. Social media erupts with speculation. Had Andre and Ashley been more than friends? Paparazzi circle the gala, lenses snapping furtive shots of Danny's crimson cheeks and Andre's anguished gaze. The world watches, hungry for scandal. Danny's network of confidants reaches out. Some offer solace, others covertly feed her tidbits of damning gossip about Ashley and Derek's collapse. Each revelation, half-truth or exaggerated rumor, fans the flames of Danny's rage. Andre, torn between loyalty and desire, stumbles through the evening. He greets supporters with measured smiles, but his mind races. Should he seize the chance to reconcile with Ashley? Should he shelter Danny from the storm? Or should he stake his claim with the woman who stood by him through years of public scrutiny? His indecision fractures the fragile trust between them. As the night crescendos into a fireworks display over the estate gardens, the trio's fates converge beneath the glittering sky. Eva Thomas, vowing to take down her own mother if need be, finds an unlikely ally in Danny's sister, who overhears whispers of Leslie's confession plan. Across town, Joey Armstrong's men stake out the McBride estate, waiting for Doug to make his next move. And Andre, caught in the crossroads of love and ambition, must decide which path to follow, one that could shatter every bond or forge a new legacy beyond the gates. In this cauldron of deceit, betrayal, and desire, loyalties shift like desert sands. Part 2 continues the intricate dance of secrets and revelations, culminating in a final tête-à-tête at the deserted gates of the backdoor casino, where every character must confront the truth of their actions. As dawn breaks, only one certainty remains. In the world beyond the gates, nothing is as it seems, and every promise exacts its price. A restless hush settles over the lavish gardens long after the fireworks have faded, leaving only the hum of crickets and the clink of half-empty champagne flutes. Vanessa McBride stands beneath a weeping willow, its drooping branches brushing her shoulders like anxious hands. Her mind reels with every whispered threat Joey Armstrong has leveled at her: asset transfers, hidden liens, demands that betray the trust she once placed in Doug. Though evening's glamour still clings to her tailored jacket, she feels brittle, as if a single accusation could shatter her. Beyond the glittering chandeliers and charitable smiles, her marriage teeters on an abyss, one that Doug's lies have carved wide. Doug appears at her side, face drawn, the bruise on his temple still violet beneath the gala's lights. He presses a crumpled envelope into her hand, a list of Armstrong's new terms, ink fresh and ominous. Vanessa's breath catches as she reads. Joey wants not only the real estate, but a controlling stake in McBride Holdings, the very foundation of her dreams. Doug's apology trembles in the midnight air. I thought I could handle him, he admits, voice cracked with shame. But he's stronger than any debt I thought I owed. Vanessa's pulse thrums with betrayal. She realizes her husband gambled her legacy for his own salvation. A soft rustle draws their eyes to the mansion's grand entrance, where Leslie Thomas stands framed in lamplight. She's traveled here at Eva's insistence, every mother's instinct transformed into fierce solidarity. Eva, pale and resolute, trails behind, her jaw clenched. They approach with measured steps, own troubles etched in every line of their faces. When Leslie meets Vanessa's gaze, she sees pain reflected in those deep-set eyes, and a sudden empathy softens her anger. For so long, Leslie has plotted to protect Eva, even at the cost of her own reputation, but now she knows what it feels like to lose everything for the sake of another. Eva's glance flickers between her mother and Vanessa. She remembers her vow. If Leslie sacrificed her for self-preservation, Eva would see the truth laid bare. Yet tonight, the world beyond the gates feels united in suffering. Their shared anguish becomes a bridge. Eva steps forward, gripping Vanessa's hand. We both know what it's like to have someone else control our fates, she murmurs. Vanessa, surprised, finds herself nodding. The two women, one bound by blood, the other by vows, stand shoulder to shoulder, a silent alliance forming beneath the willow's drooping branches. Across the lawn, Danny Dupree stands with her back to the fountain, eyes fixed on the horizon as if it might offer an escape. Her shoulders tremble with anger that simmers beneath her composed facade. Behind her, Andre Richardson approaches, his expression torn between longing and guilt. He extends a tentative hand, but she pulls away. Don't, she whispers, voice raw. Not yet. An old aide drifts past, murmuring gossip about Ashley Morgan, how she's seen with new suitors, how she's rebuilding her own life. Each rumor stabs at Danny's heart, reminding her of Andre's divided affections. Andre watches Danny for a long moment, torn between pacifying her and pursuing his own regrets. Finally, he steps closer, voice softened. I never meant to hurt you, he says, choosing his words with care. I care about you more than I realized. She closes her eyes against the ache. If you cared, you'd have told me. The honesty in her accusation cuts him deeper than any scandal could. He reaches out, fingertips brushing her arm, but she flinches, retreating into the crowd. Moments later, Ashley Morgan drifts into view, slender in a silver gown, bearing herself with quiet confidence. She pauses when she sees Andre, a flicker of something unreadable crossing her face. He offers a stiff nod. She returns it with a polite smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Their unspoken history coils around them like smoke. Danny, observing from across the lawn, senses the silent acknowledgement, and her chest tightens with both relief and rage. Relief that Andre's heart may still lie elsewhere, rage at the confirmation of her fears. In that charged stillness, Joey Armstrong emerges from the darkness, his tailored suit a stark contrast to the night ceremony. He moves like a king surveying his realm, eyes calculating. He approaches the trio, Vanessa and Doug flanked by Leslie and Eva, Andre and Danny too near for comfort. He tips his head in greeting, smile thin and deliberate. "Splendid evening," he says, voice smooth as vodka. Yet business, as always, calls. He nods toward Vanessa, then to Andre, then catches Leslie's eye with a curious glance. In one slow arc, he reminds them that every alliance, every vow, exists only at his discretion. The hush deepens as Joey lays out his ultimatum. The real estate deal must close by dawn, or the casino's enforcers will move in to seize assets, to break contracts, to leave ruin in their wake. He mentions Leslie's impending police interview and Eva's potential indictment, whispers about Danny's past scandals, subtle references to Andre's entanglements with Ashley. Each name, each secret, he wields like a blade. As he withdraws, leaving a trail of unease, each character feels the gravity of dependency. Every promised rescue, every whispered threat, comes with a price. Under the willow, alliances shift. Vanessa meets Leslie's gaze, and in that silent exchange they forge a daring plan. Combine their resources, Vanessa's corporate savvy and Leslie's community influence, to mount a legal challenge against Joey's hold. Nearby, Eva and Danny exchange knowing looks, a nascent solidarity formed from shared betrayal by powerful men. Andre, torn between loyalty to Danny and old feelings for Ashley, finally squares his shoulders. He steps back toward Danny, but then turns to Ashley with a decisive nod, an offer of transparency, of truth. In the gloom, the four of them, Vanessa, Leslie, Eva, Danny, stand as one axis of resistance. Night deepens, and the moon casts long shadows across the manicured lawns. Joey Armstrong's silhouette recedes, but his presence lingers like a specter. Each character retreats to their own corner of the estate, wrestling with compromises they never imagined making. Doug and Vanessa retire to the study to draft binding agreements. Leslie and Eva slip away to interview potential allies in local government. Danny, heart-torn, calls Ashley in a trembling voice, seeking counsel. Andre, soul laid bare, prepares to face the consequences of his choices. When dawn breaks, the gates of the backdoor casino will open once more, and the true contest will begin, not of cards and chips, but of wills, loyalties, and truths laid bare. In the first light, each must decide what they value most: empire or integrity, love or ambition, forgiveness or revenge. And when the gates swing wide, no one will leave unscarred.